When do y'all like? When do y'all get like a chance to go outside? Like March, Aprilish?
Yeah, April usually. I mean, the middle schools will start practicing like the third week of March, and so when I get a chance to grab them, I'll grab them then. But other than that, we don't have a whole lot. Just sit down right there, baby.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, you can say hi.
Hi.
What's going on?
Nothing.
What are you up to right now? Softball, volleyball?
Huh?
Say, what are you up to right now? Softball, volleyball, which sport?
Basketball and volleyball.
Volleyball. That's what's up. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Keep grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids are trying to find something to eat, man. We just got in.
Yeah.
Boy.
Peace out, bean sprout.
So, my brother, another day.
Oh man, I'm ready to go. We got this indoor season. You know, it'll be here and gone. So we got. I was actually gonna go to a meet this weekend, so I'm excited about that.
That's what I wanted to ask you, man. What matchup or like what meet are you looking forward to this weekend?
Gosh, man, there's so many good ones. Like right now, the thing that's popping off is that Ocean Breeze meet, man. That thing is
Heavy hit.
shit. Oh man, I look in there. I was like, look, everybody's up in there, and they flexing. I've seen some big. I follow all those kids because there's a lot of special kids out there, and Aaron, God, I can never pronounce that kid's last name. Pachowski. I can't never pronounce that kid's name, but he's a
13. He's in a 13U group.
yeah. His name's Aaron, and that kid is an athlete, man. That kid can jump long and high. I mean, he just last week he jumped 411 in high jump, and then he turned around and busted out big old 17 something jump in long jump.
At 13? Jeez.
Yeah, man, he's out there, and he just killed it on the hurdles too. Kid's he's just a he's
So he's gonna do. Is he a multi?
he's a multi. Yeah, yeah, really good kid, good parents. Parents are real good.
Like we talking about, that 12U shot put gonna be crazy too. Girl on the girl side,
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be real crazy.
oh yeah, you got some heavy hitters up there.
And you got Eden. There's gonna be some pressure, man. Pressure. We got a question. How many indoor meets do field events athletes do? I guess it varies on the coach. We typically, when we do indoor, we do about 3 to 4 maybe. Just to get a little feel of it. It's different if you're only doing shot, but if you're doing high jump, then you gotta, you want to get your technique work in. So when you get ready to outdoor, you ready to go ahead and pop. You're doing pole vault, those kind of events, or the jumps. So go ahead, Ricky. I know your kids do like all the events. So
Yeah, since we do so many different events, for Aubrey, it's kind of like tracks like not really in season for her yet, and so whenever I can get her, I try to get her to like 3, maybe 4 meets if my wife will allow it. I try to get her to a couple like that just so she can get a baseline so where she's at, especially for outdoor events like high jump and shot put. And trying to get some hurdle work now because she's gonna be doing multis and doing hurdles this year. And then for Cork, I try to get him as many as possible because his range of what he likes is so large that we're working different muscle groups when we go to these different meets. So I don't really have a cap for him, honestly, because we're not doing the same thing over and over again. But when he actually starts in the summer, we kind of reduce some of the meets, so we're not doing the same events over that have high impact, like triple jump. We're not gonna triple jump every meet. Like, we just can't. It's a
a
lot
lot
of
on.
impact on the body, a lot of impact on knees, lower back. So we do that every other meet maybe, or every 3 meets we might do it. So
I guess too, if it matters too where you live at. Like for us, I'm in Miami. It's all like I put up a post in the group earlier, as a joke. Taylor Swift looking out the glass with with the ice and everything on it. It's always summer here. Like we were outside today, we had flag football practice. It was 65, 70 degrees. So to us, that's a little chilly, but of course you can still go outside and get some work in. So for us, we typically, like I say, do maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 at most. But if you're up north, that's pretty much your practice. Because you can't go unless you got an indoor training facility. If you don't have an indoor training facility, you got to use the meets like practice.
Yep.
Because you don't have no choice. And right now y'all really getting hammered. I saw snow even New York got some snow, DC, and they haven't got snow in like 2 years. So like it depends on kind of like where you're at. Yeah, see somebody say New England do 12 to 14 indoor meets because you pretty much use that as practice.
Which is smart. It's really smart. I mean, because that's the thing, like especially where we're at, we don't have, we just now got a facility, but you can barely get into it. And that's one facility across this big state. And so you got to use these meets. And so a lot of people will travel. Like we had a couple, I think the closest meet to me is an hour away. And they hold like a couple, they hold 3 from December through February. They hold 3. That's the closest one. Everything else is 2 and 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, so that's not a bad drive. So you're willing to, take that 2-hour drive so you can get some work because of sitting in the house. Like us, we just had an outdoor meet. Coach Tia had an outdoor meet. So Florida is we have that dynamic. In the summertime we got to worry about hurricanes or whatever. But there's no winter here. At least Orlando down, there's no winter. You can pretty much go outside as long as it's not raining. So I guess it depends on your area that you live in. So a couple of topics we want to touch on today. Someone put in the group earlier this week about peaking. So what's your views, Ricky, on do you think throwers per se can peak, and jumpers too, can peak multiple times throughout the year, or you think it's only one peak?
I think with jumpers and throwers, I think you got multiple peaks. And it's just the nature. I don't think it's the same with running. I know when I was younger, I kind of like most runners talk about now. You build up, and by the time I hit the end of the year, when I was running hurdles in that open quarter, I was moving. I was moving. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mental aspect, but it works. But for throws and jumps, I think it's a little different. I think you can peak multiple times. I think it's a way that you train and your schedule and how you take off. And our takeoff days are different than how runners take time off too. I think that's how we do it out here. Like we'll peak, we'll have like a big throw or whatever, and then say we do a practice every once in a while. I do a test throughout the summer, and I'll test. I'm like, ooh, man, that was a big one. We'll shut everything down. We'll shut it down. So we're gonna have to say that for the meet. When we get to a meet, and then we'll throw.
Hold on 1 second. All right, he's coming back. All right, you good? You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. You have froze a little bit.
Oh, okay. No, what I was saying was, we'll be in practice and you may see like a really good throw because every once in a while I'll test. Every couple of weeks I'll test. Okay, where we at right now? And I'll see a big throw. I'm like, hey, we got to shut down. We're gonna shut down for a little bit. I don't want to see nothing else. Like if we had planned on throwing 3 throws or something like that, I'll shut it down. I'll be like, nah, you give me that one. And they be hungry. They want to throw even more. So then now they got all that built up, ready to go, and they'll go out there and PR or have a season best, maybe not a PR, but a season best.
So do you train your kids to peak, or do you just train and then if it happens, it happens?
If it happens, it happens.
Okay.
Usually, for the kids I coach, not just my own kids, but the kids I coach, I think they feed off of being around tougher competition. It's hard to peak for me from the kids I train, and maybe you can speak on this, when they're throwing against people who aren't pushing them. That's the difference with running. With the field events, we're so spread out everywhere. You can get good running, just about anywhere in the United States.
Yeah, no, that's why like the meet Tia had, it was a really good push in a lot of the age groups, but it's like you said, it's rare because you have some kids that are like up here, you have some kids in the middle, and everybody's at a different stage. But us personally, we don't pretty much train so much to peak, but like when I'm heading to a bigger meet, I ramp up the training, if that makes sense. Like I ramp up, like I start working on the mental. I start working on, different, like we switch up the training too, because a lot of times what people don't realize, the muscles can get stale if you're doing the same training over. It's just like weightlifting. If you're doing the same training every single day, one, the kid is gonna get bored, and the muscles aren't gonna give the same response that you want to get. So leading up to a bigger meet, like I say, first the thing I'm on the mental, then I'm switching up the training. And then because you want to get those bigger numbers. And then but for me, after we hit those big numbers at a meet, I give you like a week off. Like I don't want you to touch anything. Be a kid. No implement, no running, no nothing. Just like at the Tia's meet, they hit RJ and Savannah hit some really big numbers. And Kylie, I gave them a week off. Just go be kids. And then we'll get back to, when they saw me again, we went to the hill, so they didn't like me that much.
And that's a tough thing when you got to cut them off like that, because they just seen it like they're hungry. Like I can do better. I like why would no you do, and you right, you have to chill. And you same way with me. So I'm glad we're on the same page. And I'm like, now you chill for a little bit.
Got to, because you don't want to burn the kid out too early in the season, because a lot of people don't realize track is a long season, and that's what I was telling you, like living down here is a gift and a curse. The gift is, yeah, we can always go outside, but the curse is you always outside. So you got to be strategic in your training. You got to be strategic in your workouts. So your kids, when you get to June and July, when it really matters, your kids still, they still got something left in the tank. Because a lot of kids flake out down here because, they burn the kid out. You doing 10, 12, 13, 14 meets before June coming out. It's time to qualify. You ain't got nothing left to give. You know, you got to be strategic with it. But yeah. So definitely, you can definitely peak multiple times in a year. You just have to. You got to learn your athletes. Because every athlete is different. So, you can't give everybody the same cookie cutter workout either. But that comes with experience and coaching.
Yeah. And one of the things like I kind of touched on for us is like, and you can speak to this too, is going to those meets and getting tested or getting pushed, and the kids can see, okay, this is where I'm at. Or if they have someone there, it helps everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And we kind of touched on this before about there's plenty of schools out here for all these kids. Let's push these kids so they can all get better, so they can all eat and go to school and get their dreams and stuff. Because I'll tell you, a big one that we did this year, we went out to Nebraska. We went out to Nebraska for a meet, and Jordan McLean was there.
Okay.
And, that's she's part of the girls who throw far group, and I think up to that point, her and Aubrey were doing okay, but at that meet they popped off in their high jump and their javelin and their shot put. They and like those like that. I think having that element, having like they have a good friendship, and also they're very competitive too.
Yeah, it brings out the best in you.
Yeah.
So it definitely does. No, and yeah, down here I know there's a girl in Largo, Jemiah Butler. So now that's like her and Vanna. Whenever they see each other, they give each other that push that you need. Because you need that. You need that. And especially the kids that are competitive, the kids that, that they want to win, that they don't like to lose. It's going to bring the best out of you. And that's what you want to see. Like, at the end of the day, it's a competition. Yeah, they're kids. But, like, people don't realize it prepares you for life. You know what I'm saying? If you can rise to the occasion now at 10, 11 years old, imagine what you can do 18, 19, 20 when you actually get, you know, in corporate America or somewhere. Like, you're not afraid of the challenge. You say, look, I did it here. I can do it here. You know what I'm saying? So competition definitely needed. Don't run away from competition. Don't look at the performance list, parents, and say, no, we're not going there this weekend. Don't do that. Don't do that. And definitely, I've seen this in person. Don't tell your kids that. Even if a kid not on that level yet, that's fine. Everybody starts somewhere. Never tell your kids that, because you can destroy a kid's dream. You never know. I've seen kids start here and they end up at the top, 15, 16. You know, so just work. Just work. You just gotta work. You know. So all right. So what I always want to ask you this question. What's your pet peeves when it comes to either parents or coaches when it comes to like meets?
I mean, we ain't got enough time. We ain't enough time. To start is, you know, as a coach, you know, and this isn't the, you know, obviously I coach softball and baseball as well. And so the thing that drives me up the wall the most about parents is, one, them trying to pigeonhole my younger kids, my 12 and under kids, like, hey, this is what you gonna do, or this is what your daddy did, or this is what your mama did, this is what you gonna do. And it don't work like that. Because here's the deal. I'm always gonna be, I'm respectful up to a certain point until I feel like you're mentally harming the kid and they're just not having fun. I had a girl run multis for me last year, and her sister, multiple year All-American, national champion, running the 1500, 3000.
Gotcha.
The younger sister wasn't built like that. That's not her race. Like, literally crying. I was at I had two criers that year. At regional, I had Corey because he was hurt, and then I had Hadley because she's running at 3000. And we was at the
3000.
3000, man. We had the meet. We had JO's, and she had just finished her multis, ended up finishing ninth. Barely missed at that podium. And she was so excited. Her family was so excited. I said, listen, man, I know y'all didn't register for this event, but she can't run that 3000. She hates it. She's crying. I said, you're ruining this for her. I said that in front of the baby and her parents. I was like, you see the difference, the joy when she got doing this that we introduced her to versus what you want to make her into. You got to do what she's good. Yeah, so that's my biggest pet peeves with parents, them making their kids do things that they ain't built like that. I tell people, I've kind of been more upfront now, is telling kids, like, everybody who comes to our club always wants to be the fastest sprinter.
Yeah.
But I'm up there, I'm looking at kids all the time. So I'm like, that's my high jumper right there. I need her right there, right down in the high jump.
Every good field coach. Like I told you earlier today, man, I was at flag practice and I see this kid on the field and we getting registration together. And I say, how old are you? I thought he was like 13. The kid said 10. Savannah just looked at me because she already knew. Kid looked like he was Lawrence Taylor's son, man. I say, yeah, you throwing shot put. But that's every coach, man. You see that kid and you already thinking in your mind, like, you built like a pole vaulter. You built like a high jumper. You built like a low jumper. Let me see what we can do with you. But no, that's true, man. You gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta find out what your kids are good at, because, like you say, just because you ran the 3000 or just because you ran the 100 or the 200, that don't mean that your kid is gonna run the 100 or the 200. They might, but it don't always mean that they will. I know one of my pet peeves is when it comes to the people that always say, when you're a great youth athlete, it's not going to translate to when you get older, and it's like, that's not always the case. Because I've seen kids, sprinters, I've seen throwers, I've seen jumpers dominate as kids, dominated middle school, dominated high school, get to college and still do what they got to do. Genetics, it's training, God blessing you, keeping you injury free.
Passion.
Huh?
Passion.
Yeah.
because that's the thing that sometimes people think that these kids aren't dominating. Some they just fall out of love with the sport. They don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
and that comes up too to a parent and a coach realizing that, you know, like you can see sometimes your kids may be training, they're having a bad day. You say, all right, you know what, we done. Let's go get some ice cream. Let's go, you know, whatever. And then maybe even talk about it. And then, all right, we'll come back and we'll come back at another day. Because you got to, at the end of the day, you got to check the kid's mental too. You know, you don't want to run them into the ground and you know, but they can definitely be successful even if they start out young, and, you know, they can make it to college. They can make it. Hey, I had one of my really good friends. He ran track since he was like 3. He made it to the Olympics. And he was dominating, breaking records as a youth, broke records in middle school, broke records in high school. He was like the only player. He was the only kid on his team in high school, and he was placing like 3rd in state. Full scholarship in college, won national championship in college, and went to the Olympics. You know, so it's possible. It's possible.
And that's the thing. Another people don't understand and don't realize is like, just because you don't hear about that kid in the track world doesn't mean they're not being successful in something else. They, you know, they just like they became focused. Like, hey, this is what's for me. I saw a little bit older video of some girl who was just like, you know, in sprints, just breaking people off. And then everybody's like, oh, you don't hear from her more. You turn around, this girl, she plays soccer and like she's balling out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a vehicle. You never know. And it's the same thing. You know, we sit here, you know, and I'll use my daughter as an example. Everyone sits here like, oh, your daughter's so good at this, but like this is like her 3rd option. Like track is her 3rd option. It's like afterthought to her until she's actually in it. Her first love is softball. Like that, her second love is volleyball. And that's the thing. You may not hear from her in track once she goes to her deal because she want to focus on something else.
Like Marion Jones. People don't remember Marion Jones was a hooper. I think she was the first woman to dunk in the game at North Carolina. But she was a hoop. Like she could hoop. You know, she was cold on the track too. But yeah, a lot of these kids do more than one thing. You know, so again, that goes back to what you said earlier. You don't want to pigeonhole them either, you know. Just at the end of the day, just let the kids be kids. I just hate when adults come in and it's because a lot of it has a lot of salt behind it, you know, a lot of bitterness, which I don't understand why you gonna be bitter at 11 or 12 or 13-year-old athlete that don't even know you. Like, they don't even know you exist. You know what I'm saying? And you be bitter at them and their parents and stuff. And it's like, bro, like they can care less about.
And that's ignorance too, because those that know, it is like the fact, like if you're putting, you know, obviously I'm gonna put pressure on my kids, but if you're putting that much pressure on your kids, like you missing the point of what's really going on here. Because at the end of the day, like if like say they're 18 and they go there and them babies finish 1 and 2 or whatever, your baby got second at the junior Olympics. I think that's a big deal. To me, that's a big deal. I don't know if it's a big deal to anybody else. I have no idea. But you know what? That same girl, even though she finished second, you know what? We'll say the top school takes her. Guess what? There's a line of schools waiting for that next kid. So why? And it ain't just the top 8. That's the thing people fail to realize. It ain't just the top 8 kids. Top 50 kids going places. You ain't got to be number 1. You got to be somebody's number 1.
There you go. There you go. And that comes back to, like, a lot of parents don't realize the coach watching you too. They're not just watching your athlete. They watching your attitude. They watching your behavior. They watching your demeanor, because they don't want they don't want your kid to come to their school. If you a problem, if you a headache, I don't have to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be cognizant of all of this stuff, man. Like, you know, be respectful. Teach your kids to be respectful. But you definitely gotta watch. You gotta watch your attitude, watch your demeanor, and celebrate your kids. A lot of people don't. That's another thing, another pet peeve. Like, people get upset, like, why y'all making these lists, or why this person saying they're number 1 or number 2 in America and nobody else has run yet. Bro, let these kids celebrate themselves, man. You don't know what a kid had to go through to even make it to the track meet. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be getting mad. Like, you that mad? Go to the meet.
Yeah. If you want to show it's your kid or are you better than him, show up. That's all you gotta do. That squashes everything. If you don't show up, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, if you that mad, you should have went to the meet. My child to do this. Well, your child didn't do it. They child did. So we go celebrate the child that did it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, congratulations. I see, like, there's a lot of meets we don't go to. We just we don't have time. We don't have money to go. And I'm like, I'm sitting here. I'm like, dang, what's the name? We could have got that. We do say that, but I would never go out and say, you lucky such and such wasn't there. And this clown's doing that.
A lot of clowns doing that.
Like, I'll be like, because here's the thing. Yeah, you at that time, maybe you have a better mark. But when you line up next to somebody,
you never
know what's going to happen.
You never know what you're going to do when you got to face that person. You never know what happens. You can slip out the blocks if you're running. The shot put can slip out your hand, the javelin. It's a lot of variables. And that's another thing, too, people don't realize. You don't even know what environment they throwing in or what environment they jumping in, what environment they running in. Yeah, you might have ran or you might have threw this, whatever, where you were at. But they might have been in the rain. Might have been cold. Because I remember you went to a meet in Georgia one time, a speed capital meet. And I saw the time. I was like, man, I know y'all normally throw further than you. Was like, bro, she didn't even want to take her hoodie off. It was so cold.
Yeah. It's one of those things, and that's the thing. And you may have, and that's the thing about throws. You may have an off day that day because you think, and somebody else may have an off day, and take for example, like what's that second Junior Olympics that we hooked up together, and we was doing. It was Aubrey's first year of shot, and Aubrey came in outside.
Yeah. He was nervous. He was like, man, I don't know if she gonna get the podium. I was like, bro. That show, yeah, she gonna make the podium.
She ain't never threw nothing like that, and then she goes up there and she throws.
She got third, right?
Yeah, she got third, and that's the thing. It's like you just never know. And then it's like you can't, and you can't put pressure on these kids to repeat because, like, hey, I was like, hey, you just go out there and do your thing. Like at one point, I told Aubrey, do you want me to just go stand over here? Am I in the way or am I distracting you? Because I don't want you having to depend on me if I need to walk away. She said, no, you good. And she goes out there and she does her thing. She doesn't throw as good as she did the day before in the multis, and it's what it is. But you can't put that pressure because like they whether they 10 or they 15 or 16 or 17, that's not the last time they're gonna do something. You can't hinge everything on one moment.
One moment. That's a gem. That's very true. And a lot of people get caught up, but like I told you, a lot of people get caught up in the now. They don't see, like all the other stuff, man. Like it's more to life. It's more to life than that one competition. It's gonna be a lot more competition. It's gonna be a lot more JOs. Gonna be a lot more club championships. It's gonna be youth nationals in New York. That's Ricky's mad he can't make that meet, by the way.
Hot. But I wanted to touch on again what you said about like, when people I don't like it that people don't celebrate their babies more. I don't like that.
Yeah.
As much work that you putting them through and stuff like that, and you be like shame. And I think that's a part of it just in general with America right now. I'm not trying to get politicky or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, I remember when we were younger, like we used to try to be the best at everything, and you could brag and you could floss and you dance on people, break dance on whatever. And that was just our culture, and we were great.
Yeah.
And now it's like we kind of hold that in.
Want to make people feel bad now. It's like
you worry about making people feel bad.
Like you accomplish something great, and it's like, okay, I don't want nobody. Nah, man, shoot. Listen, you win, celebrate. Listen, celebrate because you deserve it. You deserve
your best. You should celebrate that. You PR, you should celebrate that. Floss on people.
I agree 100%. And parents, celebrate your kids. Listen, you don't spend all that money, you might as well celebrate because you can't go do nothing else.
Like I remember I got on Facebook the first time I got in this group, first day we went to JO's, Aubrey ran the 200. She finished like 20 something in the nation, and we was crunk. Like
Yeah.
you would have thought we won the way we was celebrating. I was like, we was flexing, bumping into her and stuff. Like we was going crazy. I'm like, and we was like 25th or 27th, something like that.
Yeah, but that's a big accomplishment for you.
Yeah, I was like, girl, you in the nation? You 25? Come on, man.
That's like when Vanna did the which you inspired us for Vanna to do the triathlon, because I was like, nah, my baby ain't gonna run no 200. And she was running in practice. She was running 42 seconds. I had to lie to her to make her feel better. Because I looked at the clock, I was like, ooh, 42. I was like, nah, you ran a 38. You know what I'm saying? But she got out there on the track, and it was something out of her norm, out of her comfort zone. And she ran a 35.3. And I was like, she was crying. Oh, that's so bad. I was like, baby girl, I'm
moving.
Listen, I'm happy you finished. You was running 42s in practice, and you came out here and ran at 35. Listen, that's a huge PR. We celebrating today. And to me, that meant more than all of the records she done broke in shot put in javelin, because it was something that you didn't think you could do, and you went out there and you conquered it. You conquered that fear.
And 35 for a person who just throws, that's not bad. We had girls in the triathlon. That's what they was hitting the podium on, with running 35 in the 200.
She came out her stance, and everybody was already past the curve. She was like, "Nah, I can't go out like that." Cause you know these Miami girls, man. They was all running 29s, man.
That's the thing. That's the thing we get ate up on. It's like we other sports fast, we ain't track fast, and it'd be like.
I was like, you got to get your points in shot and high jump, because 200 they gonna leave you. We got to do our best. But she actually ended up winning the triathlon. We not ready. We wasn't ready for JOs, but she did her thing at regionals.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. We were out in Oregon for a meet, and they was like Aubrey, and one like she made Aubrey made friends with everybody. She was friends with the number 2 girl going into the 200.
Yeah.
And they because Oregon they made a big deal about everything. I mean, they made a big deal. They put up on the screen. They line for the 200. They talk about each of the girls. Then they talk about, now here's where the action's at. Lane 4 and 5. They have Aubrey and them just like, Aubrey about to get the dog walked on her right now. I was like, ain't no action over there. She about to get rolled. But what y'all talking about? And then
do it like that, man.
You can hear it like in the announcer's voice when she got blow out. Oh, it was so funny. It was great. Because we knew, and I knew, we all knew what we was getting into. That she did PR. Like, it's the fast 200 she ever ran. We was hyped about that. But the fact that they was making that big deal, like she's about to put on her show, I was like, she put the show on in the shot putting the high jump. She does it.
I can see Cork sitting in the stands because that's how Sam be. Sam, get this camera ready because we all about to have a good laugh when we get home.
they cooked my baby, man. They cooked her.
Gotta celebrate her, man. And Coach, I see you, Coach Tia. Listen, Coach Tia, you got one of the greatest throwers in the history of the United States. You ain't got no choice but to talk. Talk that talk. Listen, man. We go talk. If you like I forgot who the NFL player was. It might have been Dion. If you don't want me to score, stop me. If not, we go score. Celebrate them, man. It's nothing wrong with celebrating your children. We celebrate their accomplishments in school. So what's wrong with celebrating their accomplishments in athletics?
Yeah. And I'm late. I'm trying. Like, my thing is behind. I just saw this message from Lauren about the Ocean Breeze meet this weekend. I know we touched on it briefly, but that is going to be live. That thing, like we said it before, but I just don't put that out.
Great meets, man. I got to get up to New York one day. He put on some great meets.
Yeah.
Don't hear nothing but good things coming out of there. That facility looks dope too. That indoor, I think, are they at the Armory or no? Are they at Ocean Breeze?
I think it's Ocean Breeze, but it's a fantastic. But I mean, both their the facilities. I mean, I've never been to an indoor, but it looks amazing.
Yeah,
they're outdoor. The Aiken Stadium. That's one of the best stadiums that I've been to. I mean, It's just
She has an ocean breeze. Okay. Now we looking for some my because we talked about it earlier. I know we were on. What event are we most looking forward to this weekend? Mine is that 11-12 girl shot put because you got some heavy hitters.
yeah, man.
And if you got a camera crew, can you please have them go over there for that?
Cause we want to see that. You gotta see that.
This is my prediction. Brielle going 39 or better, bro. That's my prediction. I think Arian's probably gonna go by 36, 37.
Yeah.
I think Brielle gonna go 39 though.
Yeah. Dude, she's special. That girl is special, man. She's been special for a long time. And that's the thing that we talked about earlier about talking about kids burning out and whatever. Consistently.
Listen, man.
Been great, consistent.
The first time I because you know, like we always talk about, parents always on Athletic Net, Athletic Live. You always on Mouse Flip watching results. And the 2020 year when COVID hit, we were Savannah was 6 going on to 7, whatever. So we're throwing, and then everything shut down with COVID. And then in June they made a post saying Coach Odom came out and said that they were going to have the Junior Olympics here in Florida in Satellite Beach. So I was like, okay, we definitely that's the 3-hour ride. We going. So at that point, I think Savannah was hitting 21, maybe almost 22 feet. So I was like, okay, we got a good chance. And then I start seeing whatever, boom, boom, boom. And then I see Brielle, and I'm like, all right, let me go see what she's throwing. 26. I was like, yeah. Oh, know about that one, And I was like, okay, maybe, let's see if it's advertised. Man, she showed up to that meet. She was about my height at 8. And her first throw, I think she went 26 feet. But her mom and her grandfather were real cool. Like we talked to them, afterwards. That's a cool thing. You get to meet people, you get to, talk with them, whatever. And her grandfather was like, I'm so happy we moving up from age groups because we won't have to deal with Savannah. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm happy y'all moving up with age. Deal with you.
Ain't nobody eating while she around. Nobody eating while she around.
No, sir. Y'all go on up to 9. You have a nice time.
Yeah, and she's and that's the thing is like getting to meet these athletes too. She's a sweetheart. She really is.
Really humble, man. Really humble. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize. Like they see these kids, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to talk with their parents. A lot of these kids are very humble, man. Very mild mannered. Like you would figure, with them breaking records and doing all the amazing things they do, that they would be big headed. And these kids, they're not even on that. Like I told you, these kids will break a record and leave the medal on the ground and go play with their friends. Like, they're not really on that.
They love that. I mean, that's the thing. They love to hang out. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it's like for my older kids. Like, I don't have to watch them as much as my younger kids. I have to watch them.
Hanging out too. You remember high school? You remember you started running track?
I know what I was doing when I was their age. I was like, yo, I know I came here with y'all, but my homies, I ain't seen them all. They over there, and we need to be over there right now.
You know why you started running track?
Oh, hey, come on, quit playing. We already know because we didn't have cell phones, the internet. We can't. Hey, shit, you think that because you had no car either? So that trip to that track meet, that's like 4 hours away. Shoot, you seen some people you ain't seen ever. So it's like it's so funny how the world is like kind of shrank because of the technology and stuff. Because Aubrey and Savannah are friends. Every time we see Brielle, she says what's up. They take pictures together. Jordan, Kyrie, all Cork's kids that he competes against, Aaron, Jonathan Johnson, like all those kids, they know each other. You'll forget how many kids that your kids know, but when they see each other out of town, they'd be like, "Hi," and they chopping it up and stuff. I'm like,
I never know they hadn't seen each other in like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Like I remember you sent me because when we met you guys when we out last year in Virginia. And you guys went back home, and Aubrey had a school assignment, and she put in there, I got to hang out with my friend Savannah. And you sent me the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like that's and what people don't realize, man, like parents be creating these little rivalries and stuff like that. Bro, these kids might end up at the college together.
Especially if you involved in it.
Oh, I'm trying to get everybody. No, man.
Anybody watching right now, David trying to get everybody to go to Florida State.
By 2031, Field Events Matters is going to have a nice NIL bag. Trust me. You go to Florida State, we going to take care of you. Car will be waiting at the airport as soon as you get off the plane. You're not staying on campus either. We got you a nice apartment, fully furnished. You good. We going to take care of you. Just come down there so we can get these ships.
Yeah, man. It's for people that's watching right now. What meets are you guys heading into, or what meets you guys are looking forward to? Are y'all going to any indoor championships or anything like that? Speed Capital Championship coming up, anything like that?
Yeah, Speed Capital got to meet this weekend here in Gainesville. And then they got at Spear in Geneva. They got their championship coming up there. USA is doing some cool stuff down here. I don't know about in your area. Down here in Florida, they got some free meets and stuff. You know, you get a USA membership. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Outdoor
starts kicking off. You just got to get the USA membership, and there's gonna be some free meets in different areas of the state. For USA, so that's pretty cool.
I think that's awesome, because I know me and you, we talk about a lot as far as like trying to grow our sport and everything and trying to get kids. And that's how you take down some of these barriers from, that are up, which we kind of see right now, which is weird to me. It's so weird to me, like that, like there's like these barriers, like, hey, we all here sitting here talking about growing this sport and getting kids more opportunities, but then you guys said the spite and the egos and stuff, and it's blocking people. There's plenty enough stuff out here for all these kids. There's no point of putting up a barrier, but also at the same time, that kid may not even stick with it. But while they're here, they should feel awesome while they're up in here and doing this, and we should be supporting these kids, because they're the kids to go tell their friends about it. We can talk to her blue in the face, but I can tell you most of the kids that come to our club, they're word of mouth kids. We get our kids, it's like, oh, we having a ton of fun over here.
It should be like a family. Like, you shouldn't have no hate, especially on your own club. Like, you definitely shouldn't have no hate on your own club. Like, everybody should be there to encourage and push those kids so they all can reach their full potential. Like, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's all about getting the kids to the next level. Whatever that next level is for them, it's about getting them to that point. So we got people going to VA for indoor nationals, 14U in Michigan. I think, are you guys going to the 14U in Michigan or no?
Yeah, we're going to go there. We're going to go for one day only because we got that Super Bowl, and we both know that the Chiefs going to be playing in the Super Bowl, so I got to get back in time for that.
I don't know, man. I can't say nothing because Dak didn't. I don't know. Cowboys didn't show up. I've told Kim I'm done with NFL. We only watching Florida State in this house.
So
3 indoor meets in Gainesville, then high school and middle school outdoor season. Okay.
So I'm gonna be up here with Miss Ferguson. So we gotta make sure we get our selfie in that one. And then Mr. Kent, I'm gonna be there. So we gotta get our photo up and way up in there as well. So that's at least 2 people that I'm gonna see that I expect.
Tell Maggie I want to see a 42 at that meet.
Ooh, man. At last year at Michigan, that was a show. That was a show. Man, they would get down.
Another kid, man, she's so humble, bro. Like I got a chance to because I saw her JO's in Charlotte. Well, not Charlotte, in Greensboro. But I didn't get a chance to meet her. But I saw her throw discus. I was like, man, like the technique was just, at that age, it's crazy to have technique like that. But I got a chance to see her like in person and meet her at Tia's meet down here, man. Super humble. Parents are doing a great job. She's definitely gonna go far. Definitely somebody I need to get to Florida State. Come on down out that cold weather, you can throw every day outside. But it's funny because everybody was cold. Like everybody had hoodies on. It was 60 degrees. She walked around in shorts and a shirt. She's like, this summer to me, man. Everybody walking around all bundled up, man. Like it's cold out here.
And it's cold, and they work I'll push it. We'll go out here and work in some 50s. A high 49. Occasionally, might go out there.
And Michigan cold different though, man.
They work out.
You by those lakes?
Yeah, Maggie and them, and who else is up there? What's that kid? It's a boy out there. He's an animal too up there north. Oh God, what's that kid's name? God, I had not said nothing. I remember what it is, but I was like, I don't see how y'all do it. Like y'all, but their hard work shows, man. They consistent.
I talked with her dad. He told me that they do indoor disc. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't even know you can do that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It'll work like that too. But nah, she's a great kid. Definitely gonna go far in the sport or whatever she does in life because she has a great head on her shoulders. But nah, y'all definitely, like I said, if you see Ricky, hook him up, get the selfie. If you see me, same thing, man. Come up, chop it up. I definitely love meeting people at these meets.
Oh, another thing that we want to do is like what me and Coach Dubs was talking. We were talking about was like y'all need to inbox us some of y'all kids' videos so we can highlight them and talk about them, celebrate them. We got a great platform here, and we want to give kids their flowers, and talk about them. I tell you, like kids like to hear about that stuff. They do.
It was 2 kids that I saw this week. Who was one? I can't think of her name. Like I told you, I locked my cell phone in the vault, so I can't get it till tomorrow. But the young lady, she pole vaulted 14-2. That's insane. Somebody posted her in here, and then Lawson's daughter, Brielle, freshman, bro. She went 42-11 with a 4K as a freshman.
Wow.
Like, I remember when I had a girl that was throwing crazy numbers. I think she hit 36 her freshman year, and I was like, oh, amazing. Man, these kids are evolving.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, Kenneth, if you're still in here, quick question. I think you're one of the I think we had a talk, and I think you said like maybe it was your daughter. If I'm wrong, let me know. But like track's not her number one sporting event. She has something else she likes to do, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because I think she does basketball and flag football.
Yeah, and like it's so funny because I remember you saying something. He was like, "This is something she loves doing this, but this is her favorite thing over here." I think that's what he was saying, but
a lot of kids out there wish she would go do her favorite.
It's like, can you get out of our sport and go do something else, please? What did he say? He says, "Yeah, she does others." Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's good. I think, especially at that age, once you get to high school, I think you got to start, channeling it down, start finding out what you want to do. But you definitely should be a multi-sport like Layla Jones. I don't even know Layla Jones. Layla Jones do like 12 sports. She like Bo Jackson. She do everything, bowling, everything. It don't matter what it is, man. Golf, she do everything, bro. And I think you should. It makes the kid well-rounded.
Yeah, I agree.
So the last topic we're going to touch on tonight, my brother, is coaching at the meet. This is a big thing that we're talking about a little bit towards the end of last year. So what's your take on coaching at a meet, and then I'll give you mine.
So those who see me at these meets, I have a whiteboard, and my coaching, I coach at the meets. I don't know if you call it coaching. I have no idea. But I had a whiteboard, and like I think they put me on the screen one time with this dang whiteboard I had when I was out in Oregon. I put just funny things on there because the kids at that point, at that level, now at the development meets, yeah, I'm like, yeah, let's fix this technique, let's do this. But once they get on those bigger platforms, they so nervous. Like whatever you saying, whatever, they ain't gonna listen to you. They gonna do what they want to do. So the best thing I can think of to do is try to calm them down and maybe get a smile. And so that thing, I was writing Slay Queen. I was writing all kinds of funny messages just to try to get them to calm down, because I know whatever I can say ain't gonna matter. If it's anything critiquing them at that point, it ain't gonna go over well. Because for my younger athletes,
nervous, yeah.
My old athletes, I can sometimes get through to them, but but at the end of the day, people forget just because they're older, they're still kids. They're still kids.
Facts.
And you have to take that in consideration. Like you think, you may have a conversation with an older athlete and they seem mature, but in that moment when they're struggling or something, they're vulnerable and you can see them just being a kid again. So I don't do a whole lot of at national meets. I don't do a whole lot because I think it depends on the kid, but for the most part, I haven't seen it work out very well. With over coaching at a national. Now at a deal, I'm gonna talk to you. You're gonna get this right now at these developmental meets. You're gonna get this coaching right now. But outside of that, whiteboard, you did this, or before we had sign language, like whatever. Right now, I'm calling Cork thinks it's a funny thing right now. I'm calling him the GOAT. He ain't the GOAT. He knows he's not the GOAT. But I do this. I go, bah, everywhere you go. He just starts, and that he'll be in a funk, and I at him, and it'll like loosen him up.
Yeah.
So that's my coaching at meets.
I think people get it mixed up. Like coaching at a meet and coaching at practice is two different things. Like you going over to a kid and say after they jump, all right, fix this, do that. I don't really consider that coaching so much at a meet. You just, tighten up the technique.
Yeah.
So get your chest up, get your elbow up. You know what I'm saying? Follow through. I think especially when you have younger athletes, and you're going to those bigger meets like a JOs or like a club, or like a youth nationals or something like that, especially you have youth nationals because you can't even get close to them.
Yeah.
AAU, you can get a little bit close to them. USA, you be, So you have to prepare your athlete during practice. That way, I don't have to really worry so much about you at the meet because we've already kind of went over the preparation. We went over some of the things that are going to be expected. But like Ricky said, sometimes they get out there, they may not compete in a big stadium like that. Or they may never have competed around that many people before. So, especially the younger kids, they might get nervous. I was surprised at Vanham when we went to the first JOs in Texas that she wasn't that nervous because there was a lot of people out there. And, that space, everybody was kind of crammed in. It was a lot going on. I was really surprised, like we did our preparation and things like that. But to me, the meet is where I enjoy. We done worked hard. We done grind. So now I'm finna sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor, and hope you get the result that we want to get. But that's the time to enjoy, man. Somebody say always laugh, listen to coaches scream. Yep. Them kids don't understand nothing you say, man. They really don't.
I will, and I can attest to exactly what he just said. I've sat next to him, and we up there cracking up, laughing, making fun of these people yell at these kids. Like, what is wrong with y'all? What are you doing right now? That ain't doing nothing. You just sit here, and we up here laughing, having a good time. And if Aubrey may look over or something like that, I may say, like you said, hey, chin up or something like that. But like what is, you know what? Kids do things out of spite too. They'll mess up just. You know what? You got that mouth on you right now. I'm about to scratch this one.
You can see the kids too, man. Like a parent or a coach will tell them something, and they'll give you that look back, and it's like, you better chill, mom or dad. And then they say it again. The kid's like, bruh, and you, just like you say, it's about to be a bad throw.
Hey, Kim, how you doing?
This is the one here though. Like people think I be the hard one.
What happened?
I don't like that. That's the one right there. I'm just Coach Dose. I don't have to be the military one, the disciplinary one. But she go hype them up if they do what they gotta do. She go hype them up. She the one that get them hype.
What, the kids?
Yeah, she the one that get them hype. But yeah, definitely. I don't know, man. Like me, it's different when you have basketball and football. Those are different type of sports. Like those, you got to coach. Obviously, you got to make investments. You got to do different things. But when it comes to track, it really ain't much you can do once they step on that track, or once they in line getting ready to throw, once they in line getting ready to jump.
Right.
Really do. You just encourage them. That's the best thing you can do is encourage them. Try to ease.
Said you cannot coach at the track meet.
Try to ease their mind, or like you say, do something to maybe loosen them up. You know your kid, your athlete. But screaming at them ain't gonna do nothing but just make everybody look at you like, bro, can you chill? You interrupted my video while my kid is. Now I gotta add audio to this because you over there screaming in the middle of my video, bro. Chill.
Hey, this is no lie. I swear, we was up in Oregon, and this dad was yelling at his daughter while she was throwing jab. She had a big throw, but he was running her mouth, and she went over, and I will find the video for it. She goes over and steps over the line intentionally because he was bumping his gums. I was like, y'all better leave these kids alone. She knows you can't get at her right now.
Oh man.
And you be separated for 30 minutes after she throw anyway, so you can't get to her because, like you said, USA 10, they be locking them babies up. You can't see that baby.
Ain't getting out there.
But he up there yelled at that baby, and she looked at that thing like this and she said, boop, step right over that thing.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, man. She scratched 2 throws intentionally because he yelled at her. I was like, man, you better let that baby alone, man. You leave her alone.
Tell him, man, they give you that look. All the kids give you that look. And it's like, after you see that look, chill. Just chill, bro.
Like this.
Yeah, just chill. Chill. Like I know Savannah, so like we just try to be cordial because she'll have her moments too. We're like, but they lock in. Those kids, a lot of those kids lock in.
Yeah.
Like you always be saying Aubrey, and I tell you, I never worry. I tell you, there's 3 people I always put my money on: Jordan, Kobe, and Aubrey. Always put money on them 3, bro, because they gonna show up.
Yeah. She don't need no more. She be like slay queen and whatever. I'm not. I can't do it. I'll let her mom do that. Like you said, let the wives do that. I can't get it.
I know we got to go, man. But that always, this is always being better in my brain. When we were talking before the javelin, when she hit that 94, you're like, man, I think we might get a big throw today. And I was like, man, you already know she finna go do her thing. And bro, when that 94 went up, when it left her hand, everybody was like, what just happened?
I remember the time I came up to you and said, hey man, I said, she's gonna break that record today. I just knew up and down she's gonna break that record today. And she went through that thing. I was like, oh Lord.
That thing
was hype. I was hyped, and I'm so grateful that Kim caught that on the video with me yelling and going down there. I had there, I high-fived him like everybody. It was.
I had time you because I was going to get some water. Remember, they had like the little free whatever they were giving out, those little nasty energy drinks or whatever.
Man, you can't say that.
What they didn't give us an NIL deal. The drinks was nasty.
Oh my God.
We tried to get an NIL deal. They didn't want to give it to us. The drinks was nasty. We was trying to help you out. I didn't say the name of the drink. Just whoever was at JO's in 2022 know what drink I'm talking about.
The comments of Dos Biblas are not the comments of Field Events Matter. Okay.
Oh, but the funny thing was, man, I was walking around like the backside, and I saw it from the back. I was like, "Is that ever gonna land?"
Oh, I just throw.
That javelin never landed. I think that javelin is still flying, bro.
Yeah, that was.
The funny thing was the official came and looked at it. He looked at it like 3 times. He was like, "This is 400."
So I'm not sure if I'm late because I've been trying to do some business stuff. But sorry to interject. I just wanted to ask, since we have Mr. Ricky on, how do you keep Aubrey motivated in all of the sports that she does? And how do you as parents handle, I know your schedule is like, it's very to the T. I think we've discussed that before, but how do you keep her motivated, especially when people around her? Because I think the second part for me, as us as parents, what we've run into is with our children doing so many activities, you have adults that say things like, y'all need to let them kids take a break. When the truth is
let them be kids.
Right, or let them be kids. Because the truth is, if we let them be kids, this is what they want to do. They want to do all of these sports. But there are times that they may start something and it's good, but then halfway through they may want to quit. And in our house, once you start, you can't quit.
You gotta finish.
So my 2 questions are, how do you keep Aubrey motivated, number 1? And then number 2, how do you deal with why don't you let your kids rest, parents?
So for the as far as the motivation, we don't really have to motivate her. Both my kids, you can ask them at any given time. This is like you can ask them at any time. You can go up to them and ask them and say, "Hey, what would your dad rather be doing right now?" And 10 times out of 10, both my kids are gonna say he'd rather be at home having a drink. That's what I tell you every time. Because like this ain't that's what I tell people. People think I'm doing this for me. Like, y'all don't know me very well, then. Y'all don't know me very well. I am supportive of my kids. I'm gonna go all out for them. But if it was up to me solo, we'd be chilling at the house. Like, and I'd be saving a lot of money. I'll tell you that. Because I don't, if you've ever you can look at my history, guys, anybody who know me since back in 98, they'll tell you the one thing Ricky's always done is save money. And Ricky don't spend money, but these kids got me spending money. And that's not what I do. Before we had them kids, me and my wife, we save all the time. So it ain't us. I can promise you that without a doubt. It's them that keeps us going. You know, we may hint sometimes on, hey, do you still like this? And we just kind of throw out there to see what they'll say. Hey, I think you should maybe take a break from doing X, Y, Z. Like,
you crazy?
No, why would I do that? And so that's how I know that they're still interested. So right now, I don't have a motivation issue. I really don't. And then for the people who are saying let them kids be kids, this is what they love to do.
Yep, that's what they love.
This is what they love to do. And
see, I think along that regard, people forget when we were kids. No, we didn't have organized sports like we do now, but we were outside playing sports all day long.
I was gone.
Like when I was a kid, we got on our bikes. You rode around, got all your friends together. We playing touch football in the street, tackle football in the grass on the park. We playing baseball with a tennis ball and a stick. If we got a bat, then we with the bat. You know, like we playing basketball. Like we played sports all day long. We just
all day long.
Somebody along the line said, you know what? I can make a whole lot of money if I organize these sports and have the parents just pay for their kids to play. You know?
Exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Because like you said, I didn't do all this. But now I talk about whenever I see Aubrey huffing and puffing in basketball or Court huffing and puffing in basketball, I was like, bro, when I was your age, all the way till I was 25, I never got tired. I'd run in the court up and down. I never took a playoff. That's why people like talk. Are we gonna like playing football and like now I hear kids like talking about taking a playoff. Like we played both sides of the ball back when I was small town. We played both sides in football. We play offense and defense.
You come out the game.
You don't come out of the game. We got kids with cast on still playing. We don't stop.
That's another thing, and I don't want to go too far into it because I know we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
Parents baby their kids too. A lot of parents baby their kids and they try to shield them from reality. And the world don't shield you from reality. You know, like, yeah, they're still young, so some things you should shield them from, but don't baby them. You know, let them know some realities and let them know some truths, you know, of how life actually works and how life operates.
I like that. That's that's something maybe we can touch on later. But like you say, like if you sit here and baby them, like if I drop dead tomorrow, if you've never let your kid experience an adversity, the world is not a nice place. I throw up all these bubbles all the time for my kids because that's just who I am, at this point, because I've been there and I let them get some experience in it. But as a parent now, you kind of put up you don't notice that you do it, but like the stuff that my kids do right now, I never had an opportunity to do that. I never got to do all these things they do. I didn't have that stuff. All I had was that straight punishment, And so you got to pick and choose as they get older, and you have to be more, let them experience some of that hard. My wife don't like it. She don't like it when I do that.
No, they have to though. They have to, because if not, they'll never understand. And that's something that we had to, because like you want your kids to have a better, life and better upbringing than you had, but they lose some of that grit because you don't let them, you don't let them get those experiences. And then, you know, you 23, 24 crying, I don't know what's happening. It's because you never experienced no adversity when you was your teenage years, you know? Like we had to figure stuff out when we were kids. You know what I'm saying? Like you're outside, you fall and scrape your knee. What do? You rinse it off, get your behind back up, get on your bike and go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? Mommy and daddy not there to catch you and that kind of stuff, you know, and we shield our kids from a lot of that stuff, and it's not good. That's why, going back to what we said earlier, that's why everybody's so, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
We need to move away from that because kids can't be, we can't let kids can't be as great as they can be if we're always concerned about somebody else's feelings. So I know we've ran a little long and I apologize, but
you good.
That's something that we've learned with Aubrey playing
2 hours and 30 minutes.
well, that's something I'm gonna cap it. Well, that's something we learned in competitive volleyball is like, man, it's cutthroat out there.
Yeah.
That is one of the most cutthroat situations. I mean, I made a little post about it, but I didn't want to put it all out there because of the org we with. But man, they every year you gotta try out for that team. I don't care if you use the elite team, your spot ain't guaranteed because somebody got better than you, they're gonna take your spot. So at the 11s, they have a 1, 2, and a 3 team. And you can lose your spot. I seen a coach today, not today, this weekend, pull a girl out so fast, it made my head spin. I was like, and everybody knew she was gone. We knew she was gone. She made 2 mistakes, and he was like, I need a sub right now. And did we know no one found any face? And the parents were realistic. I think the volleyball culture better prepares kids for sports than we do in some of our other sports like basketball and football. Honestly, the way they're cutthroat over there, they ain't worried about. There's no politics at all. It's all about winning. All they care about is winning.
But listen, when you sign your kid up for that, you got to know. You got to know. But it goes back to, like we said about the end of here, parents be looking at that performance list. I think JT said something about it. I think it might have been JT put up a post about it, or he might have commented on another post where they be looking at the performance and say, what can I try to get my kid a medal? No. No. Got them babies out there dying. What was the meet we was at? These babies was out there dying in the race walk. I was like, they know they wrong for putting them kids in the 3,000 race walk. Them kids was out there miserable, man. I say, bro, you just wrong for that, bro.
Don't do that to them kids, man.
Bro, you gonna make these kids hate life. Hate the sport.
It just has to be a balance. The parent has to find a balance. They have to find a balance between, I want my child to win and experience being a winner, and I want my child to deal with adversity. It has to be a happy medium.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what we do as parents is we try our best. Some parents try our best to not let our children experience the falls that we experienced as children, not realizing that even if they don't experience the same falls that we experienced, they're going to get their own. Our son is a first generation private school student. Yeah. It's like, oh, we did it. We have a first generation private school student. And then you get to private school, like, wait a minute. There are still issues here. Mm-hmm. He still has to overcome some things here. Then we have at that time, 12-year-old business owner. Oh my God, our son is 12. He owns his own business. We've never owned our own business at 12. And then boom, he still gets hit with adversity. It's no way for a real parent to realistically shield their child from adversity. Facts. I say a real parent because a fake parent is going to try to keep.
Oh, they do it. And they'll lie about it and they'll do it. They'll shield them and they'll lie about it.
Right.
I'll be snitching. I don't even be dry snitch. I'll be snitching. Hey, man, y'all wrong for that. Well, y'all did my baby right there. Y'all put him through that? I was wrong. Hey, I'm going to let you know. Like, I let these schools know when I go to meet these parents and stuff like that. I say, hey, listen, we can handle this 1 or 2 ways.
Yeah.
Like how I'm talking to you right now or whatever. But anyways, cool, man. Well,
next week, that's definitely we'll pick up on that adversity next. And like Ricky said, send us those videos. You can inbox me, you can inbox Ricky, or you can post them in the group, and we'll be highlighting and spotlighting some kids. And Lauren, if you still on, try to get a camera crew over to that 12U shot put, please, for them girls, because that's gonna be a movie.
All right, y'all have a blessed day, blessed night, I guess. And
Yeah,
we'll
blessed night.
see y'all next week.